Hey you beautiful folks, welcome back to yet another video of Shout Out to Books where we discuss anything, everything related to books, stories, fun plot and whatnot. And I have something really interesting, something intriguing that I am to offer today. So I recently read The Fury by Alex Michaelides. It's the psychological thriller. 2024, I had decided it will be this psychological thriller special year where I'll read most of such books where there will be mystery and thrillers. That's why I had shortlisted so many of Agatha Christie's book, and that is when it arrived in January 2024. It was released in that time and I decided to pick it up. It's a murder mystery set on this luxurious private Greek island. This story follows when Elliot Chase, where our narrator Elliot is invited by his friend and former actress Lana. She's really charismatic throughout the book. She also invites her some more friends like Kate, who is another actress. She has this kid Leo and she has a current husband Jason. And this Leo is a child from her first husband, whose name was Otto. Otto had gifted this island to her, and this island's name is Fury. And it also has, the context of being cursed island. So to be honest, I was also hoping for some horror element in the book. When all of these characters arrive, there is also this character who takes care of the, her private property when she's not around. His name is Nikos. Then her house help and also like very close to her, her name is Agati. She is also there. So these many characters, when they arrive on the private island and there is a murder. Author in the starting itself tells us that it's not about who did it, it's about why it was done. So if we follow that, if we keep that in mind when we are reading the novel, the experience is really outwardly. Author is pretty popular for his another novel, The Silent Patient, and in my opinion I would call him the king of untrustworthy narrators. Okay, in case of Silent Patient, although we don't get to know that narrator is not trustworthy in the starting itself, whereas Elliot Chase, our narrator in The Fury, tells us in the advance that a reader should not be trusting with all that he is telling us. This novel covers more about the motivation behind the crime and the psyche of each character. So that's really something new that I had come across with The Silent Patient. And there is also another book by this author, The Maidens, which is again thriller. So Alex Michaelides, I think, is an author who writes more thrillers. This was a bit different because the writing in this was similar to that of the Agatha Christie. If you have read And Then There Were None, you will find some parallels between these two novels. It is set on the island, so that gives the sense of claustrophobia and suspense. That adds thrill a lot. The Fury is full of surprising developments throughout the plot that it will keep you hooked to it and it will keep reader guessing. The narrator throughout the book keeps talking to us as if we are sitting face to face, as if it's a one-on-one conversation where narrator is talking to reader personally. So it creates the sense of intimacy as well. Whereas Agatha Christie's specialty is that, as per me, you won't be getting attached to any of her characters. And in this case, I think even The Fury sort of keeps that track as well, where you find some of the characters quite unlikable. There are some characters who are full of gossip and you cannot get their you don't get to see any of their ethical side at all in the book. And the beauty of such narration, beauty of such books is that you will always be focused on what's the plot, who is the murderer, and there are no distractions of getting attached to the characters or getting falling in love with some character, then that character dies and you feel heartbroken. Nothing of that sort. So even I read that with a mystery and thriller, there is an effect of soothingness that is actually good for our brain, good for our heart, and good for our minds. In this plot, there is also one character, her Lana's current husband Jason, who likes to shoot at birds. He's not really good at handling the guns, and there are some plot twist around that particular guns as well. You'll have to read the books to know it. but I just wanted to add. Or narrator makes sure that you also know the past stuff from all of these characters. So that's why he keeps jumping from the present to past, present to future. So there is a timeline switch as well. If it's not something that you like while reading, it confuses you, then this book is definitely not for you. But I'll still ask you to give it a try, because apart, it's not like some science fiction kind of thing where timeline jump is really huge. It's with regards to the characters, so you can definitely make sense of it as per me. Although in the first 100 plus pages you're not going to know who was murdered. So maybe at that point you might find it a bit frustrating, or you might find that it is a bit slow paced. It's worth it. So I always feel reading such books will increase your patience level, and it's going to let you get a feel of being an investigator. So that is again another advantage to it. Author hails from the Cyprus, I think, Greece, which is why the setup that is done in the book is quite real. It feels real. The story, because the narrator keeps jumping from one timeline to the next one, there are few scenes which are repeated. There is one scene where he is being invited. That is repeated like thrice. So you'll have to connect the dots from there. If you have watched the Bollywood movie Yuva, you might be able to relate to that, because in Yuva movie also there is one scene of I think Ajay Devgan's accident, which is like occurring 3 times as per each characters or as per each plot's POV. In a similar fashion, this scene is also occurring I think 3 to 4 times. Despite of all the beautiful writing, a great plot and twists and turns, the ending was a bit confusing for me, and I had to again read it. So which is why the rating I'm going to decrease. I'm going to reduce 1 star out of the rating, and I'm going to give it 4 out of 5. Still, it's a great book. As per me, any book that keeps you hooked to it, engaged to it, makes you, gives you a great experience while reading it, should be considered a good book. So that is why I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5, and it's a great book. Give it a try. Do let me know how did you find my recommendation. Thank you for watching it till the end. Have a great day ahead. Bye.